This conference will now be recorded.
Town Board will hold a public meeting beginning at 7 p.m. on Monday, September 19th, 2022 at the Town Hall, 4058 County Road N. You can also join the meeting by GoToMeeting. We have a quorum present. The meeting was posted at the Town Hall and on the website. We'll call the meeting to order and we'll stand for the flag pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You have the minutes of the September 6th meeting in your packet.
Move approval as presented.
Second.
Motion by Williams, second by Duplay to approve the minutes for September 6th as presented. Any discussion?
I just want to ask our clerk, we tabled item E about the camping behind the town hall. Did they ever contact you?
I finally got a hold of her and she said they did have other arrangements made somewhere else, so.
Too bad they didn't let you know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is finance report and approval of bills.
I move approval of checks 35,726 through 35,753 be paid.
Motion by Duplay, is there a second? Second by Anders to approve checks 35,726 through 35,753 be paid. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. You also have in your packet the unaudited cash and investment balance of $2,396,040.61. And you have the August building permits.
Move approval of the building permits as presented. Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Duplay to approve the August building permits as presented. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. And you want yours by
First.
the first. Next item is public concerns. Public's opportunity to speak to the town board about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. Yes, sir.
My name is Mike Nebor, 3124 Ludds Lane, now the main entrance to Copart. I'm sure it's been a big discussion. They're building a wonderful access road. It's going to be tons of traffic. I'm sure everyone knows what Copart does down there. Right now, their access to 12 and 18 is still full force. But I just want you to know they have zero signage. Nobody knows that it exists down there. They don't have any business hours, no identification. Unfortunately, Google tells everybody who's supposed to be delivering or picking up to go down Ludds Lane to get to it. Just telling you that right now. So they're all going down Ludds Lane. And they're turning around because, well, it's under construction. That's fine. And that will be the access into it. The access into Copart's a sweeping curve on a raised hill. It's laid out very nice, but unfortunately it's perfect. We'll put all exiting traffic headlights are sweeping across my previously private residence. I was here at all the meetings. I voiced concerns about that very subject, and I was overridden, and that's fine, because I'm just one guy, one person. But now I'll have to be taking bids for a semblance of a privacy fence, something. The trucks and the cars that come into Copart, of course, the trucks are bringing them in, the semis, up to 8 and 10 of them at a time. You know, they start showing up at 5 a.m. They start lining up at the gates at 5 a.m. or earlier because, well, they've been traveling from out of state. We got to discuss some type of proper signage on Love's Lane. They'll be parking on the side of Love's Lane idling for AM openings. Coming out of Copart, that sweeping curve is going to be a rally track. They're going to be full throttling it down Love's Lane. I was hoping that some type of speed limit signs now are going to be discussed. Seriously, speed limit signs, because they're going to be coming down Love's fast enough because they know that curve, and that curve is perfectly sweeping that we might even see a rollover. So
The lowest we can go is 45 there, isn't it?
on Love's Lane,
No, you get commercial entrances there. They could probably do a 25 there.
Can you look into that?
Yeah,
Who's doing the road? That's Dane County?
yeah.
So why are we, wouldn't they already have an idea of what would the speed limit would be there?
No, it's always ended like right after his place.
Yeah.
So it's never had a speed limit sign on it.
the
Well, it's-
new entranceway is big, it's wide, and I think it's supposed to be Class B thoroughfare. Allow 2 semis to pass safely up to and including a curb.
Oh, I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
Probably Class A actually. It's probably over 24 feet wide.
Okay, well, they're gonna have to widen the rest of Lutz then substantially. Is there any type of timeline or? Okay.
Not at this point.
Yeah, the road's probably Class B, but the intersection's probably bigger.
All right. Way back in 13, when I first put my business in there, and it was an open fields and crossroads to the south, I prompted a streetlight, and it was authorized, and I'm grateful for it. And I think it was good for the business and such. But the streetlight was then put on my tax roll because I was the only business on Love's Lane. Well, obviously I'm not now, and I'm really a minuscule traffic flow thing in comparison to the big picture of the morgue and the service garage and the salt trucks and now Copart. So I was just wondering if we could address that.
I'll talk to Coparts.
Okay, I don't know what any options were available. Otherwise, no, I don't have any other complaints, but I just want you to know what's going on down there. It's no longer a residence on the end of the road.
That was Frank.
Right, that's right.
And
And
now you are.
yeah, I know. I know.
Okay. I'll talk to Coparts on signage and on the street lights.
Okay, and parking and, okay,
We can post it for no parking.
yeah, I mean,
Well, you don't want to
There's
make
no
a
place-
problem out of it before it's a problem. We don't know if it's a problem yet, do we?
no.
You're just thinking it's gonna be.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so I mean, let's wait and see if we have a problem.
Yeah, that's fine, but okay.
You
Just-
probably,
Why not
maybe
be
we will.
proactive?
Yeah,
If you
well,
post
why
it
not be
for no
for what reason?
reason, well, you get a lot of traffic going in and seeing that and turning around and leaving, so now they're on it twice.
But then
Well-
where do they go?
Well, that is the thing,
Well,
is that where do they go? Well, hopefully they go down over the hill and towards Copart and then wait at the gate and it probably won't be a problem then.
But they shouldn't be delivering it every, 24 hours a day there. I mean,
Well,
5 o'clock in the morning, I'd say
they
it's a
do.
little,
And
Well,
I've been
yeah.
down there and they just park there, wait for the place to open up.
yes, and when I was coming here at 6:45, they're still rolling them in.
So there is somebody there at Copart
Yep, the gate's
almost
open.
all the time, huh?
Yeah, the gate was ajar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
I'll
thought,
ask him about that too.
I'm very grateful.
Okay. Any other public concerns? All right, any road right-of-way permit?
We'll do that later.
Oh, that
Twice, I
shouldn't
forgot
be
to take
there.
that off of there.
All right, we'll go to review September police activity.
I'm assuming that was August. That's what it should have been.
Yep.
Million here.
Same information as before. I feel like it was more of a slower month. And then your packets, the first one should be all calls for service, including the regular beat deputies. And then the second one is just the calls that we responded to. And the second page there should be all citations issued county and town. And then the second back part was just the town deputies. So the exceeded zoned and posted limits is typically just us. That's your 25, 35, 45 mile an hour zones. The 55 mile an hour zones, you can see we don't typically sit on 12 and 18, just because we have a lot of speed grants and stuff like that that the county does, and they're out there, and Highway N doesn't typically see a lot. Now that we're approaching, I've seen a lot more farm equipment, buses, that kind of stuff. So I've been trying to sit in areas that they're passing and shouldn't be passing and that kind of stuff. Other than that, I put the speed averages on there again. So I believe Deputy Bach was the one that got somebody at 106 on 12 and 18.
We had 12 tickets of people going above that?
12 citations for speeding on 55.
Oh, okay.
The highest was
106, yeah. Otherwise, typically Vilas, Hope, Vilas sit in the 35 mile an hour zones. You can see the average is still well above 50 and then highs of 58. I don't think we had a lot more in August. Just recently, beginning of September, we had 8 houses hit on Vilas, Hope, leaving their cars unlocked. People went through the cars. The house was burglarized. The village, the next night, had a car that was suspicious, and I was working on paperwork and ran out to the squad and ran the plate of the vehicle, and it matched the photos of the vehicle we were looking for. So I went out there and we got one individual that was wanted, another individual had a gun on him that was stolen. He was a felon, and we recovered property from the houses that were burglarized and the vehicles that were hit. So
Wow, great.
we assumed to be the kids that hit all 8 houses. So.
yeah.
Other than that, I don't think we have
Adults or juveniles?
legally adults, but born in 2001.
Really smart bunch, huh?
Outstanding citizens.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so the gun was stolen out of Beaver Dam. He was a felon. A lot of stolen wallets. The village acquired a lot of stolen property that they had from earlier in August. So it was kind of a good catch. So they got a lot of stuff in their car, receipts and stuff, pinning them for using stolen credit cards. And
Wow.
Okay.
so it was a good find. So that way we kind of closed the case before it took up a bunch of detectives to figure out who it was. So other than that, I don't really have much. Like I said, starting to see a lot more farm equipment, schools back in session, so we're starting to see a lot more of those complaints coming in.
And I'm hoping I was able to take care of the dog doo-doo on Vilas.
Jen told me about that, but I've been gone and I was on vacation, so I wasn't too familiar with it.
What was that?
Well aware of that one. Down by my area.
I've seen it in my rearview mirror, so I've seen it.
Hopefully it's been taken care of.
All right. I know she said the village was or the town was gonna send a letter, so
I made a personal visit.
we try to avoid walking on those eggshells, so.
Okay.
And any anticipation of potential problems with them finally working on Cottage Grove Road? I remember, the problems when they were doing the previous work on Cottage Grove Road.
And we're getting the same kind of complaints.
What was the question?
Wondering if he was anticipating getting calls for people taking shortcuts where they shouldn't be because of the milling that's going to be going on, the reconstruction on Cottage Grove.
Milling is done,
Yeah, it's all done.
and they're laying about half the road is asphalted already.
Wow.
Yeah, and they never stop traffic. So it's been,
However-
in my opinion, it's been great.
On side streets, they could.
Well, they did for a while and now I don't know what they were thinking.
Today they opened it, yeah.
Yeah, they were all open. On the weekend, they were open too. So
There's,
that was foolish. I don't know what they were thinking.
any sort of,
On Friday they closed it.
say, any sort of road closures where they shouldn't be driving through, it's a pet peeve of mine. I love sitting there and waiting for somebody to drive through, so. It's notorious for the two bridges. I would sit there and wait.
Well, they got local
Right.
traffic only, but yet they got guys out there directing traffic.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense. you know?
Aside from the road wasn't supposed to be closed throughout the
Yeah.
construction process.
Wasn't
So,
it?
but
Cottage Grove, yeah. I was,
It was supposed to remain open throughout and they closed it on Friday.
they've done a nice job, in my opinion.
on Friday, I was on a beach, so I was not here.
I'd say they'll be done with most of the road, probably in a couple days.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of side work to do.
I'm not sure what
Especially if the
12 and
weather-
18 and all of that reconstruction will do, but we'll be in the area if they start closing roads or rerouting traffic or that kind of stuff, so.
Okay,
I have one question to ask.
okay.
Over the weekend, I've been seeing more of it. You know, everybody has seen the electric assist bicycles, the bicycles that have the batteries that help you pedal. Well, I have been seeing more and more, there are three-wheeled contraptions that are fully electric. They have two rear small wheels and a front wheel. It looks like a three-wheeled scooter that people are driving on the road. These are adults. These are not kids. This is not a child's toy type scooter. And, you know, a guy went by for about the fifth time over the past few weeks, and I said, "You can't ride that on the road." He says, "Yes, I can. It's a bicycle because it's got handlebars." So I'm thinking, okay, so does a motorcycle. But without having any way to pedal, there is no chain, no nothing on it. What is the difference between that and a three-wheeled motorcycle? I mean, something like that, number one, I don't believe can be licensed because it certainly doesn't meet any federal motor vehicle standards. Plus, I've seen two-wheel vehicles like that where the pedal crank would be, all it has is 2 foot pegs.
Mhm.
And they have a bicycle light on it. The guy's wearing a bicycle helmet and he's wearing his kit,
Sure.
you know. But they are absolutely no more a bicycle than my car out front is.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything?
I have. There's a gentleman, I paced him in the squad car, and he drives from somewhere in Cottage Grove to Stoughton, and he's got the three-wheel with lights on it. And I paced him through town, and he does about 26, 27, so
How
it's.
can he even be on the road?
I would have to look at the statutes and see if I could contact the DA's office and see what they say, if there's any statutes that apply to it. Because that goes into what I think would be an iffy area because it's technically motorized, but I don't know if the state sees it that way.
Correct. I mean,
electric.
there is no pedals on it, so
Yep.
it's strictly a motorized vehicle, you
Yep.
know, and.
He
Like
goes by here every morning, every
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah,
He goes-
it's an
yeah, I've seen him.
ATV.
We can't do that.
Nah, I've seen him a couple times, but I'd have to see what I could find because that's one of those areas that we'd have to really look into how the state
You know,
classifies it.
Just, you know, they're traveling at least 25 or more
Mhm.
miles an hour, so I mean, it's faster than a normal bike.
Yep.
And there's, like I said, there's no license. They have the little flashing strobe up front, and the guy wears a bike helmet.
Yep.
I just,
Like you said, they're up and down this road every day. It's somebody that lives in Stoughton, he just drives on his little bike every day, so.
It's like that kid that I saw out there and.
We'll have to try and follow up for the next meeting and see if we
Yeah,
have
I
anything or if the state needs to amend to include those or not.
yeah,
Yes, I've noticed him. He's, even at night, he's cruising along, so.
thanks.
All right. Next item, consideration of replacement for the refrigerator at PD.
You guys want cold stuff?
We had given him a fridge that was in our shop and it died, so.
It sounded like it was ready to take off, but I didn't think anything of it, so.
So is this two different items from Brothers Maine?
Yeah, there's 2 different refrigerators listed there and there's 2 different ones from Menards with the exact same price. They are different refrigerators.
Uh-huh.
All of them are very similar to what we bought for here, this one back here. They're all basically identical to that.
I think the Whirlpool, the top one, 11.6 cubic foot top freezer. was like-
No, that was the last
That
one.
was the last one that they had.
It is, they have that one, but I mean, if it's in stock, we can get that one, otherwise that's not an option.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's what,
It was there
I
Friday.
guess
It was there Friday.
I guess part of the issue with buying any appliance from like Menards is that where you're gonna get it serviced even under warranty. They're gonna, and I would be more comfortable with somebody like the Brothers Maine to be able to have some sort of consistent service department or accessibility to a service department. Just my 2 cents.
I agree with Steve. I would go with that. If it's not there,
I did call Sub-Zero to see if they would had any, like they did for the
EMS.
fire station, but they haven't called me back yet,
Okay,
so I don't know. So,
we have this.
Sub-Zero's pretty high class.
scratch and dent, that's what we took last time. So, but, yeah, I would do the 529 if it's still there
Okay, that would be my motion then.
Second,
and take it out of town hall expense.
Right.
If they had
take it out of what?
town hall had money in it and
town hall expense.
Oh, town hall expense.
Town hall. Did I see this? I guess not, it wasn't town hall.
Just remember your town hall expense. You're gonna have the furnace check yet coming out of
Yeah.
there.
Town board, other board expenses. We've got $892 in there.
Okay, take it out of town board expenses.
5170 is the account.
It's okay by me.
Motion by Williams, second by Anders. To buy the 529 using 5170 account. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. Next item, consideration of certified survey maps. First one's for Brian Kaufmacher, combining parcels at 2896 Hemright Drive. It's kind of old, isn't it? Didn't we do that some time ago?
Well, and
For
it wasn't
the
that,
zone?
that long ago, probably in the last 6 months sometime.
Questions?
Why is it such a weird lot? Just because of the way the land is laid out for the fields or what?
That's how it was divided off.
He previously owned it all, but it was 2 pieces, and he put it into one so we could build a building because his setbacks didn't work on the piece that had the house on it. So the outline was already there, in other words, in that weird shape.
move approval of certified survey map 11829.
Second.
Motion by DePlace, second by Anders. Approving certified survey map 11829. as presented. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Then we have Swalheim 2011 revocable trust divide parcel into 4 lots. Yeah, 3 smaller ones and 1 large lot. 5 acres, 1 acre, 1 acre, and then lot 4 is leftovers 27.7. All down on North Star Road.
The plan is this is gonna be commercial or what?
Yes.
That's the plan, right?
Yeah.
On the east side of the road.
Correct. Right by that first 90-degree corner.
Mhm.
I move approval of map 210194.
Motion by Duplay, is there a second?
But I gotta figure out where you're getting these numbers, because on that
It's
last
at the
one,
bottom, it's at the
okay,
bottom.
that one is right. The one that you just approved previously, that CSM number was the old CSM number.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And that one doesn't have a map number on it, so I think we'll just have to identify it.
Okay, I just was going by the top of the
But yeah,
page.
that, you're right on this one, sorry.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure we didn't do it twice.
Is
You
there a
wanna go back
second?
at that one? Or just leave it go?
I'll second the motion.
Right, it's no problem.
Second by Anders. So motion by Duplay, second by Anders to approve CSM 210194. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is consideration of the 2023 Deer Grove EMS budget as recommended by the Deer Grove EMS Commission. And you have a copy of it there with our increases, $21,000 for the year, with adding 2 paramedics on January 1 of 23.
I can start it off by saying that at the previous meeting, at the end of the meeting, when we just started looking at the budget, Sarah Valencia asked Eric to come up with another budget with the 2 new hires coming on July 1 of 2023. And I told her at the beginning of the meeting last Thursday, thank you for doing that, because that was what I was thinking about, because I was worried about it. And I appreciated that she was proactive and we came with it. And I looked at it and I said, that is it. Just to give you a little background on our meeting. And Chris made a motion for that. It was seconded by John Williams from the village for discussion. That motion failed. And then Eric and Mandy gave additional information. And the key piece in this was the estimated gross run fee increased. And that was based on the number of runs you've had to date this year.
Yeah, the gross revenue from runs to date this year, anticipating that it would be at least that or more next year. To this point, of course. So any of the increases you see in the budget are related to the hiring of the 2 new staff members. There were no other initiatives taken on. And as a matter of fact, one of the initiatives we had suggested, which was replacing car 79, we removed at the request of the board from the prior meeting.
One of the things that Eric said to us as we were talking about this is he was concerned he would lose his first choice candidates for the additional 2 full-time staff members because other EMS services are expanding staff numbers.
Yeah, the qualified and experienced paramedics are a limited quantity. And if you look at the document I just handed out, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for sure departments that we know of looking to hire almost 20 paramedics, of which a good number of them would likely come out of our casual staff member list. As you look at the monthly report that we put out, we've been very successful at upstaffing and keeping 24/7 coverage at the Cottage Grove station here, largely because of our ability to attract and keep the casual staff members. What was a bit of a shock to us was that what would have been our number one hire on January 1st took a job in Sun Prairie, knowing that she possibly could have gotten a job here. We were just waiting on the word from the commission under a week later. So would have been staff that not only will take positions at other places, and because I was talking with Sarah from the village earlier today, and Meritor has hired one of our casual staff members as a EMS liaison. It's not a full-time position, but as she reviewed his resume, she's like, well, he also works for Monona and works for Middleton and works for us and for Meritor. Well, that's how casual staff members make the equivalent of a full-time wage, is by being casual at multiple different departments. When you're become a full-timer at another department, whether it be us or someone else, generally you don't need to have 5 part-time jobs.
But you're saying this would be 1 January
Yeah, so
23, right?
We would, 1 January 23, we would hire 2.
But that's what I'm saying, but they're taking a job now.
Some were. We were hoping that we have 2 that are on a list that we've identified that we would hire. And they've made the commitment to us that if we say we'll hire them, they'll not take jobs elsewhere. But the risk isn't with the full-time staff, it's with the casual staff group that we have 18 of right now. If they were to, of any of these positions, take a job, that would limit our ability to upstaff using casual staff members. That's why the decision was to move to hiring on January 1st. Because instead of needing a total of something like 120 hours per week from the casual staff group to or 168, I think it is, we would be able to use about half that. So we would need fewer casual staff members because we are committing to full-time staff as a known quantity.
So, but aren't you planning then on losing some casual staff due to that decision? You said you do.
We're gonna have cycling in and out. You mean because of who we decide to hire that we might lose casual staff? Well, the future has us that we're gonna hire at some point in time 4 more after next year to get up to 16 full-time staff. So our goal as not only myself, but the leadership staff of Deer Grove EMS is to create a culture and environment that all those folks want to wait around for their whack at the full-time position. The list we created expires on January 1st on purpose. It was a 6-month list. We didn't feel that if we made a list longer than 6 months, it would be fair to anybody on that list, just because we knew that there was going to be so much hiring in the area. And we want to make sure that anybody new that we bring also gets a chance to enter themselves into that list. We've made the commitment that our hiring is only going to be from within and will be treated as a promotion. So any movement within the department gets treated like a promotion, and the only way to get hired from a full-time spot is to be on our roster.
Questions?
You guys are on the committee, right?
I voted for it. I voted for this 1/1/2023. For the reasons Chief has just shared.
So what's the village gonna do? See, they're gonna hold this whole thing up.
No, they voted for it.
They did?
Well,
I mean, they didn't vote for it tonight, but both of their members that were present voted yay for it, so. And I've always said, you have to make decisions that are in the best interest of what you believe for your township. You can't say, what's the village gonna do and why are we gonna base a decision?
Well, because of the fact we're kind of being held hostage by the village, that if only 2 out of the 3 approve this, it's not going to go forward, right?
Well, true, but that's not with this current agreement. This current agreement says that,
Agreement's still in effect.
2
so,
out of 3.
2 out of 3.
so,
And so how did our third member,
they haven't had a meeting yet.
Deerfield, yeah,
They meet next week.
oh, so we,
Typically,
You're the
though,
first, you can be the trailblazer.
yeah, they're the,
Vote yes every time.
well,
They-
yeah, and typically Deerfield can see the big picture. Very good.
Yeah, and they
You know, and
voted
that's-
for it
Yes.
in the commission.
they did.
They did. So
So does someone want to make the move?
I would move.
Second.
That we approve the Deer Grove EMS budget as recommended by the Deer Grove EMS Commission.
Second,
already beat ya.
Motion by Williams, second by Anders to approve the 2023 Deer Grove EMS budget that was recommended by the commission. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Moving to Public Works, road right of way permits that were issued.
We had none
None.
since the last meeting. So that's good.
Anything else you wish to report?
Not too much. Getting into fall stuff already. As you all see, the
Starts on Thursday.
news is talking, the cold weather's coming, so hopefully the grass will start slowing down.
Yeah.
So we don't have to mow 3 days a week. But yeah, no, nothing new.
Okay, clerk's office.
The ballots came in today, so we're working on getting them out to the voters who have active requests on file. They have to be out by Thursday. And that's our project this week.
Board reports and communications. I went to last Tuesday's construction meeting for AB in 12 and 18, and for Love's Lane, they were indicating that they would be done by the end of the month. Contract calls for October 14th, but they thought they'd be done early, so. And that's all that I had. Committee reports, Deer Grove EMS, you heard the budget.
The other item was the intergovernmental agreement. The agreement was approved and it has the same payment schedule as the current intergovernmental agreement. So that's not going to change. The other provisions went through as drafted. Correct?
Yeah, there were 2 minor adjustments as suggested, I think by Chris, that will come through
Just wording.
minor verbiage and wording. The other thing that, and the reason it's not on the agenda tonight is that we have to include performance measures in the document. So we'll have those up for discussion next meeting. While I'm talking, no news on AFG. Their last round was administered on Friday. So been watching that close so that we can provide answers to all the communities as everyone has someone that has some form of ARPA expense they'd like to request, knowing that we're kind of holding up that process. The ambulance should be in Wisconsin this week. I talked to the vendor today about some stuff that he needed to order and we'd forgotten about. Luckily, it's stuff you can go to the parts store and get, so it's not anything that's gonna hopefully cause any more delays than we've already experienced. If I were super aggressive and super optimistic, I'd say we're gonna have it in service October 1st, but I'm a realist and I'm gonna say just October. There's also a function and factor that the state inspector, ambulance inspector, has to approve it for the street, so that could also be a little bump in the road. We'll see how it goes.
All right, emergency government.
Well, we worked on, we pretty much have the standard operating procedure done. And we're just gonna be, it's only been 15 years basically, because the village never approved it in the first place, so. But we simplified it big time, and it's a nice document, and Kim helped us a lot at our last meeting, and the meeting in October, we're hopefully gonna relook at it again, make sure exactly what we have, and then we should have a good document. It mirrors the ordinance, and it's very simple and easy to read compared to the crap we had before, so it should be very good.
And the counties approved what we're doing.
They will approve it, yeah.
Okay, anything else?
Nope.
Next item, convening closed session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 19.85, parent 1, parent E, deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive bargaining reasons require a closed session. Potential development at Highway 12 and 18 in N area.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Duplace, second by Williams. Roll call, Mike.
Aye.
Steve.
Aye.
Hampton, aye. Williams.
Aye.
Duplace.
Aye.
Aye. So we're going into closed session. And will you back in open session? I don't think there's any action that we have to take from the closed session. Things are known.
What,
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just gonna get the door open just so we're in open session.
yeah.
Oh, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Bill?
He's gonna open the door.
I was just gonna make sure we're open.
I
sent
it to him. I think we want to adjourn, don't we?
Thank you, guys.
It's not on the agenda. So.
Well,
I can't sit
That
here with
would-
5 people and
That
talk
would
about
have
something
fallen under
adjourning.
that same,
want to reconvene the closed session?
No.
We can adjourn.
Move we adjourn.
Motion by Duplace, second by Williams, non-debatable. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. And we meet here Wednesday at 6:15. And Bill, we sent you the thing